I'm just doing some painting on a rainy Sunday and figured I would give this a try. Wanted to check out my microphone here. So I figured I would just go for it. So I'm just going to be using 3 different colors of clay paint. It's called Terra Clay Paint. And I'm just pouncing them on together to get a pretty blue-green blend. And I'm almost actually done with the legs, and then I'll do this part. But I just figured I would come on here. Hello? I never come live on YouTube. I just figured I'd give it a shot, because why not? Why not? Now I'm going to go in with the medium color, which is this color here. It's really pretty. It's called London Blue. So pretty. I love all the blues and greens. So I'm just kind of tapping them together. And it's okay that I'm painting over what I've already done. I'm just adding more layers to it just to add some more interest to the piece. I need to put some up here. Gotta get this part done while I'm up here. Now the great thing about Terra Clay Paint is you have to seal it. So I can get some on the wood right here, the sanded back wood, and I can get it off with water right away, or even like tomorrow. So it's such a good benefit that I like, because I am a messy painter. I am a messy painter. So hopefully it's going to come together after this layer of paint. So let me get a little bit more up on here. Then I will blend these colors better together, and then work on here, on this part. Then work on this part. I still have to do this leg too. So that's what I'm doing on this rainy Sunday afternoon. What are you doing? What are you doing? See how when I use this brighter green with the wet paint, it creates another color right away? And it's a really pretty color. And I also will let this dry, and once it's dry, I'll come in again with this color, because it's a beautiful, like, verdigris color, like a verdigris patina color. Oh, there's a little bristle in there. That's what happens when you paint with natural bristle brushes. That's okay. It'll add that brightness into it. So I will make sure to do that. But I also take advantage of being able to create these secondary colors while the paint is wet, by just pouncing them together and blending them together. And I'm going to come in and use this brush, a wide bristle brush. You can use a smaller one, it's okay. I'm going to spray it to get it a little bit damp, just a mist of water. I like to spray my brush and not the piece for this look that I'm going for. And all I'm doing is I'm working all the product, so I'm going to remove any excess product so there's no like weird buildup that I don't want. And I'm just holding the brush and just, you know, you can come up under there, come at it from all different angles, and you're just working that product together and removing any excess, and it all blends beautifully together. It's really a great paint to blend with, especially if you're new to blending, because it's just so seamless. It comes together very easily. So let me get this part up here done. I'll do that part. Go. So I'm hoping that the microphone is working okay. That's been my problem with my phone on other apps, but I haven't tried it here on YouTube. And I said, I need to try. So I'm just going to get some paint up there. I'm going to be careful not to get it on the wood. I know that I can get it off the wood anyways with a little bit of water, but I still want to be a little bit careful. I don't want to be like all reckless about it. I don't want to be all reckless about it. Okay. Get a little bit of that medium color in there, and then we'll go in with the lighter color, and we'll blend those colors together just to make like an interesting pattern. So you can brush it on back and forth, up and down. You can pounce it on. I missed this area, so we'll have to do this part of this leg too. So I want to use every bit of paint up. So I'm going to use the paint that's on my brush to cover wherever I'm missing as I go along. Okay. I'm going to get a little bit more of that lighter color in there. And again, once it's dry, I'll come back in and I'll add it on top. And I might actually seal it before I do that step. You do have to seal clay paint. A lot of other paints will seal over time, like a chalk paint or mineral paint. But when you paint with a clay paint, you have to seal it because it's always reactivated by water and by pressure. So you'll want to seal it. And I usually wait a day before I seal something, but you don't have to wait a whole day. I've sealed it in the same day, and it has been fine. Let's get a little bit more of that on there. I see over here I need to kind of melt together. That's the one thing about painting legs is you don't always get every little area on the same go around because of the angle. Okay. We'll get a little bit more paint going. Where is our one? A little bit of this guy on there. And then we'll blend them together. And then we're going to do this part together also as well, in addition to. See how you're just kind of pouncing it? And that's what's going to, when you're pouncing two colors together when they're wet, it's going to create that third color. And it makes it really easy to blend. And then you can come back in and add some more details. But now we're going to kind of swoosh all the colors together again. Okay. We're just going to run the colors together. And that's just going to like remove any extra product so there's no buildup. And melt those colors together. And then we can still add some more colors if we want. Some more details. Hey, River, my puppy's here. Anytime the paint comes out, she comes out too. Hello. Did you paint out all by yourself? Yes, this is painted. Yeah, I did this with 3 colors. I'll show you the colors. And I'm just going over it with the second coat. And I'm going to do the second coat on this area. So I'll show you the colors I'm using. It's a dark blue. This is a clay paint. It's really thick and gorgeous. It's really easy to use, and it's fun to blend with. Then this medium color. This color palette is my favorite in this line. It's like a beautiful blue-green color. And then the third color is this one, which is also a favorite of mine. So that's what we're doing. Don't whine, Mama. My little doggy is whining. It's okay. You know why? Because she's not getting all the attention right now. So I just really like working that extra product so there's no buildup, and it just kind of runs the colors together and blends them together nicely. And you can layer as much as you want. You can layer as much as you want. I gotta get this back here a little bit. And then we're gonna get this area here. And then later tonight, I'll come in and I'll seal it, and then I'll add in some other little extra details. I'm not sure exactly what. I definitely want to highlight the little nail heads, maybe with some gilding wax. I was thinking of adding some other colors, but I think I'm not going to because I'm going to stain the top. This top is actually, I sanded it all down and I bleached it to remove any tannins, and now I'm going to go ahead and later tonight I'm going to stain the top with a water-based stain. Just to have that contrast between like these murky, mystical, fun blues with a really light top. So I don't want too much activity because I really want the top to stand out. Okay, so now we're going to come in here and we're going to do that part. How are you doing today, Max? May, I'm sorry. I need my glasses on to see. Oh, the flowers in the background. The flowers in the background. Oh, this one? Oh, okay, so that's I'll show you. I'm sorry, May. That is, it's a decoupage paper. I'm going to bring it up on an old window. Let me show you this. I did this about a year ago. It's decoupage paper. So that's paper that's put on an old window and it's sealed, and then it's painted around it with a blend of colors. And I have a little dirt here because it's been sitting in my den for a while, but I love it so much. I love the colors. So yeah, it's a decoupage paper. I wish I could paint like that. And that's why I like to use decoupage papers, because I can't paint like that. I wish I could. I wish I could. I really wish I could. But yeah, it's a fun paper. It's really pretty. And oh, do I have the back on this one? And on the back I have like fall and winter. Fall and winter. Spring and summer. Fall and winter, spring and summer. So I'm sorry, May. I totally misunderstood that. My apologies. My apologies. Okay, so we are going to do a little bit. There we go. Okay. We're going to get a little bit down in here. Can you guys see that? Okay. All right, so we're going to go in and we're just going to do the same thing, kind of like a mottled little blended look. I wish I painted, I wish I hand painted that. It is a paper. It is a paper. Which are fun to use. If your paint gets a little bit thick, and anytime you use any water-based paint, oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. You are so sweet. Anytime you're using any water-based paint and it gets a little bit thick, you can add water to it. So this is clay paint, whatever paint you're using. You can always thin it out with a little bit of water. It's okay. It's only the oil-based paint that you're going to want to use like a paint thinner. But water works wonders on this. Okay, so now we're going to go in. This is dried. I did this last night. So now I just want to add some more detail, so I'm just going to do the same thing. We can get a little bit more creative than on the legs because we have a bigger surface area. So first I'm going to just concentrate on getting the paint down by pouncing it. And then we'll work it with that bigger brush. You can go back and forth if you want. I like the texture it adds by pouncing it and the coverage you can get. And I like how it blends when you pounce it together. I'll show you that in a second. So we're just going to kind of go random, a little bit random. I do kind of like the darker colors on the edge to start with, but we're going to go over it with the lighter colors. You'll see what I mean here. I'll just do this part right here so you can see what I mean instead of worrying about doing the whole base at once. Okay, so, and the great thing about clay paint, if you haven't used clay paint yet, or you're new to it, is that the water always reactivates it. So, like, I'm the worst at taking care of my brushes sometimes. Like, if I'm really tired at the end of the day, that if my brush isn't completely cleaned afterwards, because it's reactivated by water, I can clean it the next day. So I also don't like to waste paint when I'm using the clay paint, because it's so easy to just reactivate it with a little bit of water. So see how when you're just pouncing it together, and we're going to smooth it out with that bigger brush. So if you don't want the texture, you can easily smooth it out by when you're pouncing it. It's just such an easy way and quick way to kind of add that little dimension and to blend them together. And anytime you're blending the paints together, is you're forming new colors. So you have the original colors plus the new color it forms together. So if you use 2 paint colors, you're going to easily get three colors. If you use 3 colors, you can easily get 4 colors and easily get 5 colors. So it's really fun. I like the unexpected part of it. We're just going to go around a little bit, kind of like the same way the base coat is, just to kind of keep the same thing going, but you can easily change it up. Say you don't like the way your color pattern is, you can easily change it up by just going right over it. It's really easy. It's such a great quality about it. So it's kind of a benefit of having to seal it is that you do have a little bit of time to change your mind, to finish your project if you need to walk away from it, to clean your brushes, to use all your paint up. But you do have to seal it once you're done, because if you don't seal it and you try to clean it one day, you're going to reactivate the paint and it will come off. It's that porous because it's clay. But that's okay. I like that aspect about it. And when you do seal it, it does alter the color slightly. But to me, it doesn't bother me that it does that, because I know that it seals it to the color it's intended to do, which is more close to the color in the can than it is to when it's dry, because it dries it to like this color when it's wet. As it dries a lighter color. So when you go in and seal it, it's going to kind of deepen that color a little bit, and I don't mind that at all. You can see already, see how much lighter that is? That's getting really light really quick. I'm going to plug my phone into the charger. Let's see here. While I do that, sorry about that. Plug that in. Okay. Let's see, I'll plug that in. Sorry about that, guys. You can do it, May. You can absolutely do this. I'm not this trained like artist person. I literally found painting as therapy when I was like, you know, I was home. I was like housebound for a while from being sick, and I had to actually retire, and you know, so I found painting as like my therapy, and I didn't work in a creative field before. I don't have any formal training. I just like to experiment and try the different products and just trial and error, and you can absolutely do this. There's nothing I'm doing that you can't do. I promise you. It really is that easy. And it's fun. As long as you're having a good time, you're gonna create beautiful things. As long as you're having a good time, you'll be happy, and you'll see how easy it is to have it all come together. It's just trial and error, it's experimenting, and it's having a good time. It's not like a fine art, a fine art like a portrait painting, you know, where you're worrying about like getting painting the nose right on somebody, you know. You're just having fun putting paint on furniture or canvas, on whatever you have. On whatever you have. Oh, I think I probably use that brush. No, this is the right brush. Okay. I do often dip my brushes in different paint colors than it's originally intended for, because I just love the colors that these kind of create together. And we're going to bring this all together in a minute when we kind of like use that bigger brush. Right now we're just getting the paint on there, and we're just kind of creating a little bit of interest. We'll just connect that area to that area, and see, as you go over it, you're just creating new colors. And you can go over it as many times as you want until you like the final result. Now we're going to use that big brush, and that's going to work all that product together. I do like to mist the brush a little bit with some water. You can mist your piece, but with clay paint, unless you have a really strong base coat on there, because it's activated by water, if you spray your water directly on here, it's going to pull that paint back, which creates beautiful looks. But that's not the look that I'm going for on this piece. This piece, I really want the coverage. But if I wanted to do a drippy look, or I wanted, say I had it painted like yellow underneath this, and I wanted the yellow to show through, I would spray it directly on there and pat it with like a soft cloth or a brush, and then that would bring the yellow to the surface, because it's going to peel back the top layers. But this one, we're just doing more of a blend, so you don't really want to spray the piece directly. You want to spray your brush. I just find that's easier. There's really not a lot of rules. The only rule really, honestly, is like to have fun. And when you're using clay paint is that you have to seal it at some point if you want to lock that in. Like I'll show you, you can spray the piece. Like it's fine. You're just going to, kind of use a lighter hand when you're moving those colors together. And that just gives you all those layers of dimension. Gives you all those layers of dimension. And again, it's gonna dry lighter. And then I'm gonna go seal it and it's gonna go darker again. Back to like how it looks now. And after I seal it, I'm probably gonna go through and add a little bit more on top. And say you wanted the wood to show through underneath, then you could spray the piece and pull it back to have some wood peek through. I did prime this piece though with a colored, like a gray primer and not a clear primer. And really with clay paint, you really don't need a primer, I find, but I wasn't sure what I was doing with the table when I prepared it. So I tend to prime everything and then decide, but it never hurts to use a primer. It never hurts because it just gives you a little added insurance. And the great thing about the clay paint is if you get a bristle in there, you either let it dry and just roll it out with your thumb or your fingertip, or you can pull it right out and smooth over that area. Is that it? No. I thought maybe that was a bristle, but it's not. So I want a little bit more of that lighter green color, I feel like, in the middle here. So we're going to add a little bit more of that. And I might actually use another brush because this one that I'm using really has a lot of the secondary color in there. So I might just get another brush real quick. Let's see. Do I want to or do I just want to use this? I'll just use this. Oh, I know. You know what I just saw out of the corner of my eye? Hold on. You can use so many different things. I thought I saw a sponge. Yeah, I did. No, it's a crumpled piece of paper. Oh well. Well, you can get a cool look. Well, we'll just do it. We're just having fun and experimenting. You can use anything as a tool with your paint to create texture. You can use anything. So we're going to use a little bit of brown paper. So I'll show you. We're going to just dab some of the, and don't worry, don't stick around if you're, I don't know if you're still on here. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Everybody's busy. But I'm just going to dab some paint on. Just in like a little organic free-form pattern. Non-pattern. A non-pattern, we'll call it. A non-pattern. I kind of like the way that looks, but we're going to bring those colors together and add a little bit of interest because this is going to actually, this is really good to use if you have a base color that's different because it will bring that base color up. So now we're going to just press it down, and that's removing some of the paint, add a little mist of water, and it's creating those little lines and ridges in the finish. So it's like kind of a cool look. And then I'll bring you in closer. If you don't like it, you can just wet it and paint right over it. I'll show you that. So we picked up a little bit of the paper, the paint with the paper. I don't know how well you can see that. So it gives us that type of a look there. Kind of neat. Maybe I'll keep that. I was going to paint over it, but maybe we'll keep that. If I decide to change my mind, like tomorrow morning, I can just wet it and smooth it right out. But let's do a little bit more of that up close. Up close. We're going to experiment a tad. Just experiment a tad. Now by doing that, see, I'm going to put some of the lighter color over this darker color. And then when I spray it and I use this, it's going to pick up the lighter color and it'll bring some of this darker color through. So I'll show you what I mean. And again, I know everybody's busy, so if I'm just talking to myself right now, that's fine. I do that all the time. I already do that. Spray it, and then we got our crumply paper. You can use so many different things. You can use spatulas. plastic wrap, a microfiber, a sock. But that's just giving us a little bit of dimension. So we're going to actually continue with that. Let's do a little bit more because this is fun. This is fun. Ooh, that's a lot of paint. Over here. We'll go back over to that. We'll do 2 colors at once. Let's do that one, and we'll do a little bit of the medium color also. Right over it. Just like that. And it's also easy to clean up. So I'm getting it all over my hands, but it doesn't bother me. And I know I can wash my hands real. As soon as I'm done, it will come right off. So it gives you like instant layers by doing little experiments with whatever you have on hand. Get a little bit more water. Okay, let me get my big brush. There it is. Reach it there. Spray a little water. And then you can smooth it out if you like. If you just want to soften it or take it away. It's just a really fun way to experiment and come up with different looks. And you can see there's a bristle right there. I can easily take it out now, or I can wait for it to dry. But we're going to take it out now. There we go. Take me a little bit. Takes me a wee bit. And there's one over here too. Oh, there's another one. So natural bristle brushes can shed very easily. And that's okay, it's just part of it. Some shed more than others, but it never bothers me because if I'm painting something like a one color finish, I'm not really going to use the clay paint and natural bristle brushes. I'm going to use a synthetic brush, and I'm more often than not going to use like a chalk or mineral paint. Okay, so a little spritz of water. And now we're just going to go back and forth and smooth it out. Kind of like the cohesiveness of this look, of spreading out the layers together, the different colors. You still get the look of like different levels, like you're peeking through something. It does have a lot of different layers, but it's a little bit smoother looking. So it really doesn't matter. It's really about what you want. But because the overall look of this table, where I really want the wood grain on the top to stand out, I kind of want this to be more of this look than with the brown paper bag. Now the brown paper bag, or like a sea sponge or something else, I would definitely do on another piece. But I don't want it to compete with the wood grain on the top. So I'm going to have to give it a chance and let this all dry so I can come figure out my next step. So you can see how much lighter the legs are because they've been drying. I'm going to make sure I get any bristle out. Again, if I miss a bristle now, it's not a big deal. I'll just wait till it's super dry and get it then. You see one over there though, so we're going to turn it until we get to that. I can see the paint drying at different levels. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a little bit of the darker color right on the edge. Right on the edge because I want to blend that in. And then I gotta let it all rest and dry before I come in and seal it and do my next process. It does need a little on this leg though. I'm gonna do this leg right here. I feel like this needs a little love. I might have missed this earlier. Okay. Let's add a little bit of that other like here. La da da. La da da. Pounds. Make it fun. First, I'm going to get this nice and smooth how I want it. Again, I'm really just working any extra product so there's no buildup of product. That's my main goal when I use this brush. And this method is just to smooth out any harsh lines and make sure there's no buildup of product so everything dries nicely together. Alright. Now we're just going to pull that out a tiny bit. And I think we are good to let it dry and then reapproach it later today. So, this is my first Facebook, YouTube Live. So, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. My name is Kristen. I just like to have a good time and paint whatever I find on the side of the road. And that's it. Mwah. Everybody have a great rest of your Sunday. I don't even know where to turn it off because, like I said, I'm very new to lives here.